In our 3 remaining games, he said, to get promotion, starting here today. And even if Blackburn win here today, they are then at least assured of a place in the playoffs. Palace know that their remaining games have to be won. There are 3 of them. Here today, away to Leeds, and then at home to Manchester City next Saturday. So the tail end of an exciting season, and still so much to be played for by these 2 sides. A free kick then to Blackburn Rovers. Former Chelsea man John Miller with it. Blackburn have won only 1 of their last 6. They've had some difficult away games though. Nibbling in quickly there. And here comes Wright. Finding Phil Barber. Getting support from David Burke behind him. There's Burke with a good left foot. Bringing it into Wright. A little quiver excitement every time one of these 2 big strikers get the ball, and it's Bright on the far side. A little chip across the face of the Blackburn Rovers goal, and in the end it's left behind by Nicky Reid for the corner. So a corner just to be taken now by Neil Redfern. Terry Geno in the Blackburn goal. As his defence is under a bit of pressure here, Geno fisting it away, only as far as Pennyfather. And an offside against Redfern. And some excellent work by Ian Wright in those opening moments. Archibald. This is Thomas. Wright, getting Wright on his way. David Mail is there, but Wright crashes to the ground. A free kick to Crystal Palace on the edge of the Blackburn area after the clash with John Miller. Anxiety and a bit of clumsiness, and more anxiety for Blackburn Rovers here. Redfern, the man behind it. Geno bobbing and weaving and looking to get the right angle and the right line as 2 men in the Palace wall ahead of it, and Redfern drives it just wide. And they picked up from Doncaster Rovers. Scored 8 very useful goals this season. But struck that well enough as the first Palace wall moved to one side, but it also went wide. And here's Chris Price, a highly rated fullback amongst second division clubs. Ardelius, and Price has gone on, and he's gone past his man, and a penalty's been given. But Suckling brought it down, and it'll be a penalty for Blackburn Rovers. It was a great run by Chris Price. It's Ardelius who played him in there. They were claiming offside. The flag stayed down, and the penalty, I don't think you can say there was much argument about it. And now Archibald, with 6 important goals to his credit for Blackburn Rovers since he came back from Spain to join them, now could well be on the point of scoring the most crucial yet. He saved it! Suckling, who gave away the penalty, redeems himself as Archibald's shot. A flying leap, a spectacular save, and it stays at 0-0. A corner then for Blackburn Rovers, and a goal kick. So applause, as you can see, from the Palace fans behind that goal for their goalkeeper Perry Suckling. And a glorious opportunity for Blackburn Rovers to take a precious lead. Has been halted by this man. It is really a noisy and a very frantic afternoon. And the the moment, which is really what it is in a way. It has more of a cup tie feel about it than a league match, and it's got a real cutthroat cup tie aspect to it. Both clubs know that. This is Wright looking for a yard, denied him well there though by Mail. Oh, but Wright's done well here. He gets his little cross in, and the header is tipped away magnificently by Geno. A fine header by Barber after some splendid work by Wright. And Geno, incidentally, who played 3 games on loan for Crystal Palace away back in the 1970s under Malcolm Allison's regime, tips that one away superbly. A corner then for Palace. Curled in, and it was Ainscough who got that away. Redfern will cross it once more, and the keeper's ball. Quarter of an hour gone, and plenty of incident too. Again, caught offside. Jim Cannon will take the free kick. Once again, Gavin Nebling's forward. Again, we see them there, that little knot of players, and then they fan out once more. There's a dog on the pitch at the moment, and almost to the point where the old chap was there to kick the ball off the line, and the referee's got to do something about that. Well, he's looking for a bit of affection, but the fans just want him away. Do you, like me, sometimes wonder why on earth people bring a fine-looking dog like that to a ground like this? Could have been a very interesting moment there, because the dog, in fact, was inside the 6-yard area as Terry Geno comes for this one, doesn't get it. I don't know whether from this angle we'll see the dog appear on the left of the picture, but the shot there, yes, there he is. That could have been a very embarrassing moment indeed for everybody. Cannon. Free kick to Palace. Brush between Ainscough and Thomas. Cannon's long probing free kick. Hendry underneath it. Barber. That time it was Mail who got it away. Here it comes for Barber again. This time trying to get Burke in. A long left foot towards Ian Wright on the far side. And a corner for Crystal Palace. Coming off John Miller. Neil Redfern will take it. Nebling at the near post. Cannon up there too. And Geno, and Cannon with a header. Inflicting. Yes, by Bright. And Palace ahead. A very important header by Jim Cannon. Winning that one in the air after Geno had planted it out. There's the Cannon header, and there's one by Bright, and into the back of the net.
Number 9, Mark Bright.
So it will be taken by Scott Sellers. Mail has come up from the back, but Hendry has stayed put. It's with Ardiles. Sellers. Garner on the far side, and it came off the crossbar when it looked to be an inviting tap-in for Steve Archibald. Well, the crossbar, in two senses, saved Crystal Palace there, and Archibald totally frustrated by it. As the ball comes back in here, you can see Archibald just waiting there for the little tap-in, but the crossbar and the deflection beat him. Reed, Nebling, Wright, delightful bit of play. Sending Redfern in, and Redfern's ball sending Pennyfather in. Good move here, and in the nick of time, Nicky Reed read it to perfection for Blackburn. But what a sparkling move by Palace, and a great run by Glenn Pennyfather. As he played the ball in here, Ian Wright was waiting for it, but Nicky Reed got it away. Wright with a header, Wright on the turn, and a goal kick. Thomas up above Ardiles. Barber. Pennyfather again making a good break from the midfield, and Bright almost getting in as well. Miller getting this one away. This is a good period for Crystal Palace, leading by 1-0. Mail losing out to Thomas, got plenty of pace about him, and his shot is over the top. Jeff Thomas. Up goes Thomas. Here's Ian Wright. Barber to Burke. Well, 5 minutes remaining of a really entertaining first half that's certainly had some good incident in it. And Palace leading by a goal to nil. Cannon with a header, well saved. That was a soaring header there from Jim Cannon. Actually, on the big match, we televised Jim's very first game back in 1972, and he scored with a header that day against Chelsea when he wasn't marking Peter Osgood at the other end. So a few players have come and gone since those days at both clubs. Right, good turn. He left Mail there. And his shot bouncing awkwardly there just for a moment, but nicely behind it. It certainly showed his speed and his skill again, did Ian Wright. And here he is once more on the ball. A little touch this time to Phil Barber. Wright again. Looking to pick up Wright. A clash with Geno. Redfern is in there. Pennyfather's shot, and it's just wide and it's gone for the corner. Could so easily have been number 2 for Palace. Started again with Ian Wright's cross. Bright and Geno clashing there. Redfern couldn't get the right sort of touch. Geno, in fact, saved well. And then off Pennyfather behind for this corner. Redfern taking it. A real high one there, but Geno beating Bright in the air. So the 35-year-old keeper being under a lot of pressure in this half. Conceded just that one solitary goal to Mark Bright. Palace leading 1-0. Last minute of the first half now. Thomas getting it back to Suckling. Pennyfather now on the break. Right on the far side. Played inside for Bright, played across the goal there. Reed getting it away at the nick of time for Blackburn Rovers. They've got better the longer this half has gone on for Palace. Oh, there's a real clash there between Thomas and Ainscough. I get a feeling that Thomas, in fact, was pushing away at Ainscough first, and it was a retaliation there from the Blackburn Rovers midfield player, and a free kick to Crystal Palace. Into injury time now at the end of the first half. Burke, Thomas, Barber, Burke again, played in for Bright, a flick on to Nebling, who's up there. Bright again to Nebling, and it might come to Wright on the turn. And it flicks off a Rovers player for another corner. Redfern. Nebling's there. Oh! A chance was missed there by Ian Wright. And that long curling corner, again putting Rovers in all sorts of trouble. But Wright's shot goes wide. Referee looking at the watch. This could well be the last kick of the first half. Indeed it is. And a good first half for Palace. With Mark Bright's goal is the one that's given them a half-time lead, but only because of an excellent penalty save from Perry Suckling. Palace, who looked to be second best to a very smooth Blackburn Rovers side early on, but Palace really stuck to their task and seemed to get stronger the longer the half went on. So a vital promotion game, and the half-time score: Crystal Palace 1, Blackburn Rovers 0. Welcome back to Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace leading by a goal to nil. This vital game at the top of the second division. Garner. Price. Certainly they've got to find a way, Blackburn, of holding these two front men of Palace at bay. There's no doubt about it that after a fairly slow start to the game, Palace have really got into the best possible gear now and might have had one or two other goals to have put this game safe. As it is, the one by the number 9, Mark Wright, is all that separates the side as Redfern takes another corner for Palace. Nebling's in there, and Bright too. Good heavens, and Barber came in, and another chance for Palace right in the opening minutes of this second half. Redfern taking it, and you wonder whether they might not regret some of these chances that just are not being tucked away by them. Burke in there, Ainscough, Sellers. A good break now for Miller. Ardiles. Sellers. Ardiles. Got in behind the defence well here, Ardiles. And Finnegan, well, he had one little flick at him, and if he'd caught Ardiles, he'd have been down, and that would have been another penalty. But his second intervention was much better timed, Tony Finnegan, at the expense of a corner. Ardiles this time. Well, he picked up Miller, the left back, and a flick by him, and a lovely save by Suckling again. A tremendous little flick by Steve Archibald, and Palace were saved there by their goalkeeper once again, as Thomas breaks away and looks for Wright. And Blackburn so close then to an equalising goal. Worked in the first place by Ardiles, and then Archibald's flick saved superbly by Suckling. Redfern, crossed in towards Wright. Well, a good chance out of nothing there. The long ball hit forward towards Mark Bright, but it's Neil Redfern who crosses it in, and Wright well positioned with a header on target. Now Sellers for Blackburn Rovers. This could be problems for Palace. It's crossed in there, and again Archibald just fails to get the crucial touch. Well, I know Steve Coppell was really worried about the effect that Archibald would have on this game. He says he's the sort of player who can nick something out of nothing. Well, he missed the penalty early on, but he might easily have had 2 or 3 goals since then. Archibald to Garner, to Ardiles. A little back heel by him for Sellers. Playing some good, neat stuff now, Blackburn Rovers. Even though they're still this goal down. Sellers with a cross. And Miller tried to direct that into the path of Garner. Barber was in the way, though. Right. Thomas, well taken by him. Beautifully played by him for Mark Bright. And did he get a corner? Well, the substitution can now be made for Palace. Neil Redfern's going off, and John Salako's coming on. So a striker comes on. Mr. Man who's been on the score sheet this season. He's Salako, and quickly wants to get on the action with this throw. That's a good long throw too. And it's in there! Oh, Thomas got a touch! And what an amazing substitution! John Salako! His first touch was a throw, and a long one at that. And Jeff Thomas got on the end of it with his header, and it goes past Geno for goal number 2. Salako's long throw. You'll see Jeff Thomas challenging there, just flicking it on. A good header that. And Palace 2 up. Ensko. Well, the Palace fans cheering that goal by Jeff Thomas, and now beginning to chant, we're going up, going up, going up. There's a lot of work yet to be done before that's a reality. This one's still to be won, and then they have an away game against Leeds United, and then here against Manchester City. But there are so many permutations and so many possibilities. One thing that Palace did know for sure, if they were to have any chance at all of playoffs or promotion, this had to be a victory today. Cannon. Archibald. Nebeling's down injured at the moment. And the whistle is gone. So John Pemberton also warming up for Crystal Palace. Fought from Crewe Alexandra. But what an astonishing start to the match for John Salako. Didn't have time to touch the ball with his foot before he was called upon to take a throw, and he was determined that he was going to take it. He ran some 40 or 50 yards to make sure that he could, and what a good long throw it was. Nodded in by Jeff Thomas. It was Jim Cannon who was getting a bit of treatment. Father. Bright. Good ball there for Wright. He looks hungry for that one. And that's a lovely cross by him coming in there. And it was Bright's header, ducking in quite bravely. So that's an old 1-2 of Wright and Bright, really producing something else for Crystal Palace. There's his long cross in. Finding Archibald. Miller's made a break down the right for him. Archibald wants to go, and he finds a nice ball there for Sellers. And a good save again by Suckling, and Garner couldn't quite get in. Good reactions again by the goalkeeper there. But that was only half the job. Nebling had to finish it off. Playing in... and it was a good save by Suckling. Garner couldn't quite get in. One thing's for sure, Steve Coppell in the centre of the picture there. To his left and the right there, Ian Evans, who used to be a centre-half here with Crystal Palace. Between them, they've got a really good side here, and they know that their season's going to last to the very last Saturday of it. That's for sure, if they can win this one today. Sellers. That's a lucky break for Crystal Palace as Bright finds Wright. Can he find the net? Oh, no he can't, but he wasn't far off. It wasn't far from being goal number 3 as Bright and Wright again combine so well. Here's Ian Wright on the ball now, turning his defender one way, then the other, lunging in with his shot, which was going wide. To Wright. Barber. Wright. As fans enjoying this little bit of possession. Right now with the break. Bright and Salako just failed to get on the end of it, but it's a corner for Crystal Palace. Well, a delightful and confident piece of passing play there, and then Wright providing that little cross, and Salako was waiting hungrily for it. And here's the corner. Mark Bright to John Salako. Here comes Miller. Ardiles. Ooh, given away badly there. Straight to Ian Wright. Hit from a long way out and saved well by Gemo. My goodness, what a strike that was. After Ardiles had given the ball away, and here's Ian Wright. Flicked away though by the goalkeeper. There goes Price. The final whistle. It's a victory and an important one for Crystal Palace, with Mark Bright's goal in the first half, putting them on the way, and then won by Jeff Thomas. That header from Savako's long throw made it 2-0. But one of the heroes, without question, of course, is the Palace goalkeeper, Kerry Suckling, with that penalty save early on, and one or two other very fine efforts after that. What it all adds up to, who can tell? But one thing is for sure, away to Leeds United and then at home against Manchester City, Palace are going to have a really exciting last week of the season. Final score then here at Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace 2, Blackburn Rovers 0. So the top of the second division still full of exciting possibilities. And elsewhere, here's the Crystal Palace manager, Steve Coppell. You were saying earlier this week to me that the top of the second division is a bit like a jungle. It's like that again now, isn't it?
Well, even more so now. Although all the main contenders and ourselves won this weekend, it's a real minefield. I wouldn't like to say, even at this stage, with 2 games to go. When you think about it, that's very much like extra time, because the season should be finished now, 42 games.
That's right.
So going into overtime, it's a test of nerves for everybody, I think.
As we look at the top of the second division, Millwall basically have to win just one more game. They've got an away game against Hull. They're at home to Blackburn Rovers next Saturday. They're in a great position now.
Yeah, obviously thoroughly deserved. I think they've had a lot of injuries this season, and they've still managed to sustain a challenge. Bradford obviously looking pretty good at the top there. They've got a very difficult game on Monday against Aston Villa.
Yes.
From our point of view, we're in 6th position. We're obviously hoping that somebody's going to slip up. And the games we can see is the Bradford Villa game on Monday, and next Saturday Blackburn play at Millwall. So there's still an awful lot to play for from our point of view, but all we can do is just try and do our business.
Now you've got away to Leeds and then at home to Manchester City here next weekend. What did you feel about the performance today, though?
I think when we played well, we played very well, and when we played poorly, we weren't very good at all. It's a difficult situation for us. We've been on the outside knocking on the door for about 5 or 6 weeks. And I think today perhaps the importance of the game maybe got to a few of our lads, but generally I've got to be very happy with the result. And at this stage of the season, the result is the one thing that matters, and the points in the table.
It was an inspired substitution again by the manager, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That was amazing, though, the way John Salaka came on. He was determined to take that throw and ran about 50 yards so that he could take it. His first touch was a throw.
I take no credit whatsoever. It was just a question of getting him on when the ball went out of play. It wasn't meant by any means. But John's got a good long throw, and I think when a substitute comes on sometimes in that position, people mightn't realise how long he can throw it. And Jeff Thomas read the situation well, and it was a good spring from him to just get a touch in front of the goalkeeper.
So now away to Leeds, that's tomorrow, Monday, and then at home to Manchester City. Now tell me, what are you looking for? Obviously 2 wins.
Well, I've got to be looking for 2 wins, but for the last 7 or 8 games now, as I say, we've been knocking on the door. We've been unbeaten in those games. I think all we can do is do our best. We'll be going to Leeds with the full intention of trying to get 3 points. That'll be a very difficult game because they won at Swindon at the weekend. So it's going to be hard for us. But I think if we get anything from both games, it'll be a deserved effort from the lads.
So the First Division could still be on.
Well, I think the light at the end of the tunnel is definitely getting a little bit closer. But you know, it's funny. You seem like an outsider, a gatecrasher at a wedding. When you're in that 6th position, when you're in the top 5, then you feel a little bit more comfortable. We've still got an awful lot to do. Thank you very much.
Meantime, and Sunderland, the final score, it turns out to be a season of smiles for them. What about Crystal Palace? Who knows? What we are sure of is a week of high excitement coming up. Hope you've enjoyed the programme. From us all, good day.
And Geno and Cannon with the header, and flicked in. Yes, by Bright. That's a good long throw too. And it's in there. Oh, Thomas for the touch. And what an amazing substitution, John Salako.